Yo, what's up everyone? World Class Wilson here, and in today's video I'm going to give you guys a game review on MotoGP 20 for PS4. If you're interested in purchasing the game, you're like me. You want to know, is the game worth it? Is this game worth spending my hard-earned cash? And is it worth my time? Well, that all depends on if you're a fan of the sport, a fan of sim racing games, or if you want a serious challenge. If you fall into one of these categories, then this game's for you. That's not to say that newcomers won't like this game, because I think this is like the best MotoGP game to date. But MotoGP 20 delivers on a true sim racing experience, one that will challenge newcomers and returning fans alike. Now I've broken this review up into 5 sections, which are the new braking system, the updated neural network AI, the new tire degradation and temperature model, the new crash and respawn system, as well as the best career mode in MotoGP history. Let's get into it. New braking system. So the biggest difference in MotoGP 20 compared to the other years is the braking system. Before you could just smash the front brake, but now the front brake is very sensitive and can often cause stoppies. Now, you have to use more of the rear brake and be more sensitive with the front. I recommend you keep the default setting for the controller, rear brake on the button, and front brake on the trigger, because the trigger allows for that range of motion and that modulation which is required for the front brake on MotoGP 20. I have an example of my first lap actually on the game, and it was my first attempt to do a first impressions video. Check it out. And we're here at Laguna Seca, coming down to T1. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, okay. Okay, so gotta manage the front and the rear brake. There we go. Wow, this feels a lot different. So my recommendation, if you do end up performing a stoppie, it's easy, just slightly release off the front brake while having the rear brake still on. That will level the bike, and then you can press back on the front brake, but it's very sensitive. With this new braking system, we also see a lot more slides coming into the apex, which can be a problem when you're trying to manage your tires, but it's a fun problem. So be prepared for a different braking experience, one that feels more like you're on a bike modulating the front handbrake. The AI. In MotoGP 19, the developers introduced ANA, or Artificial Neural Network Agent, which is an AI system that learns on its own by making mistakes with trial and error. With MotoGP 20, we have ANA 2, which allows the AI to manage their fuel, their tires, and adapt to the movements of their bike. The trial and error is actually still seen through the gameplay quite often, and they can crash out and even retire from the race. They also added gestures to the AI and to your rider. So if you hit someone, you'll put your hand up. If you cut someone off or you do something to piss off the AI, sometimes they even look back at you, as if there were some hot-headed rider underneath that helmet. So, I mean, you can look at this one of two ways. Yes, the AI are very aggressive, almost too aggressive. But I think that also gives a feel of realness, like you're playing against another person with a controller. But again, at times, it's too aggressive. New tire model. As opposed to just one bar showing our tire life, now we have 3 indicators for each tire: left, middle, and right, for both front and rear tire. These indicators show us the tire life and the tire temperature. And the tires behave differently on every circuit. So some circuits you're going to have to manage a hot rear. Other circuits you're going to have to manage a certain part, a left or a right part of the tire. And actually choosing the right tire for the Grand Prix is also very crucial, because weather can impact your tire performance. If it's hot outside and the track's hot, choosing the right compound of tire will make a huge difference in your race. This, in my opinion, shows the devotion Milestone has to produce a top quality simulation experience. New crash and respawn system. So we all love a good crash. And in the previous games, we could crash, respawn really quick, and maybe lose a few places, but still be within the pack. Now, when you crash, you have to finish out your crash until your bike comes to a complete stop. Plus, wherever your bike ends up, that is where you respawn. So if your bike stops in the gravel, well, you're going to start and respawn in the gravel. Also, they have a new damage model. If you hit someone or go down, your bike will actually lose pieces, and if you have realistic settings on, it can affect the bike's performance drastically.
You can even see like little bits and pieces fly off the bikes, particularly at the start of the races when everyone's making contact. And you do need to be careful because contact with another rider can result in a crash, like a front wheel hitting the back wheel of another person will result in a crash. But, you know, most of the time, for the most part, the small impacts don't really lead to an immediate crash. You guys want to see some more crashes? Career mode. So in MotoGP 19, we had rider career mode. This time we got managerial or team career mode. Your team consists of a manager, an engineer, and a data analyst who you can hire and replace to make your bike perform better and earn you more money. You can choose real life team or create your own team. They all have targets, objectives, and a salary. You know, now there's a purpose to the career mode. It's not as immersive as F1 2020, but it's still very customizable and it is still very fun. You can customize a bike, you can customize the rider's face, you can customize a helmet and your suit. And in the career mode, you can start in Moto 1, Moto 2, or you can start in Moto 3 and work your way all the way up. Side note, with the recent update, they also added Red Bull Rookie Cup, Moto E, and 2 historic categories that have been added onto custom races. So that's all I got for you guys today. If you stuck around, hit that like, that follow, that subscribe button. Your support means everything to me. I want to give a quick shout out to my recent followers on Instagram, at the GN16, at Control-Alt-Deleta or Deleta, and Twitch Sheriff. Thank you guys. On Twitter, thank you Ro Ranazov, Full Cremo 5, and RW Sim Racing. So yeah, follow me on Instagram or Twitter, World Class Wilson, and thank you so much for watching. Later, guys.